Straight ahead on the Daily O. A key pickup last night for the Democratic Party. With the runoff election win for Senator Raphael Warnock, what does this mean for the Democratic Party, who now looks ahead to the 2024 elections? Investing in the future? Find out which top tech company has made an investment in OSU. Looking ahead to the next generation. Also, Stillwater police continue to ask for your help with locating 4 suspects accused of breaking a window at a local church over the weekend. All of this and more coming up. The Daily O starts now. Good evening, and welcome into the Wednesday edition of the Daily O. I'm Tyler Tripodi, filling in for Aaron Gonders. We're glad you're with us. Tuesday night was a significant win for the Democratic Party as Senator Raphael Warnock won his re-election in a runoff against Herschel Walker. Warnock's victory means Democrats will have 51 seats in the Senate next year. That means Senate Democrats will hold majorities in each committee. They share power with Republicans now. They'll also be able to issue subpoenas without GOP support. And they'll have a vote to spare on simple majority items like Supreme Court nominations. That could weaken the power of moderates. The Democrat Party now looks ahead to the 2024 election in hopes to regain majority in the House of Representatives. Here on campus, Oklahoma State has recently received $250,000 from Google in attempts to support school outreach programs. The money will be split among the OSU Center for Health Sciences STEM programs, the College of Engineering, Architecture, and Technology. Google's donation now allows the OSU Center for Health Sciences to continue to invest in resources to help grab interest of medicine and health sciences. In other news, Stillwater Police is now asking for your help with locating 4 suspects as police say they vandalized a local church. According to police, on Sunday at approximately 9 a.m., police responded to the University Heights Baptist Church off of South Knobloch for a vandalism report. Upon arrival to the scene, officials then noticed a window on the north side of the building was shattered, appearing to be from a rock thrown at it. Surveillance footage shows 4 subjects, possible juvenile age, as one who is seen wearing a black hoodie with yellow lettering, picking up the rock and throwing it into the window, then throwing 2 more rocks moments later. Anyone with information regarding the suspects is urged to call the Stillwater Police tip line at 405-533-8477. The victims of the plane crash that killed 3 people in Yukon Monday night have now been identified. Officials say 53-year-old pilot Christopher Lamb of Perry, alongside passengers 78-year-old David Lamb of Yukon and 28-year-old Gabe Prow of Stillwater were pronounced dead at the scene. Information from the NTSB indicated that the Beech F-33A aircraft crashed on approach at approximately 9:16 p.m. after unknown circumstances after taking off, stating the crash resulted in a post-impact fire. The NTSB continues their investigation as it may take up to 2 years to fully determine the crash of the cause. Now, part 1 down, 3 more to go on the Daily O. When we return, we'll take a look into your national headlines as well as looking back into the history book on one event that changed the world as we know it. Find out more when the Daily O returns.
My name is James Remedi. Fired Up Stilly is the name of the business, and I'm one of the owners. We all 3 met, the 3 owners, working as employees at a similar place like this. What I hope for is for everybody to feel welcome, like family. Not only do I want students to feel welcome to come here and study and use our free Wi-Fi, but also I want adults and families to be able to come in. We've built a connection with a lot of people, and Stillwater's a big community, so we just want to invite everybody to be able to eventually make their way through our doors. Well, definitely the teas, I would say. Most people fall in love with them. They just got a great amount of energy, gets you going through your day, and it just kickstarts you to get everything you need to done. For myself, it would just have to be, being the owner, owning something that, is able to impact other people's lives, and, the way we can affect our community is something that I really have always wanted to do. We love our clients and our customers that come through every day, and we enjoy getting to know them.
You may have been to casinos at some point in your life, but do you really know the truth behind the game you're playing?
And the casinos were very polemic or very controversial when they came out. But the truth was, that's all the federal government gave us.
Casino is owned by the Chickasaw Nation and has roughly 600,000 square feet of dedicated gambling space, making it the world's largest casino. It contributed massively to the Chickasaw Nation, posting a net revenue of $1.4 billion for the fiscal year of 2017.
Taking a look back in the history books, today marks the 81st anniversary of Japan's attack on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The Japanese Imperial Navy launched the strike on December 7, 1941, drawing the United States into World War II. More than 2,000 Americans were killed. The bombings also destroyed a significant number of U.S. battleships and planes. President Franklin D. Roosevelt gave a speech to Congress the following day, famously calling the day of the attack a date which will live in infamy. Shortly thereafter, Congress passed a declaration of war against Japan, marking the official beginning of America's role in World War II. Taking a look into your national headlines, joining us in studio is Colin Combs at the news desk to give us the latest. Colin?
Ethics Committee has determined Republican Congressman Madison Cawthorn of North Carolina violated a congressional ethics rule and now must pay a fine. The committee ordered Cawthorn to pay more than $15,000 for encouraging people to invest in a cryptocurrency he had a financial interest in that was not disclosed. The committee released its report Tuesday and found evidence Cawthorn violated conflict of interest rules when he failed to disclose in a timely manner his investments in cryptocurrency. The committee said despite its finding, it did not believe Cawthorn's actions were deliberate. Cawthorn lost his primary in May, and his term will end next month. So far, there has been no comment from Cawthorn on the committee's report. The FDA is taking steps to make certain Naloxone products more readily available to help reverse opioid overdoses. Naloxone can be given by injection or as a nasal spray, but right now it's only available by prescription. And the FDA signaled last month that it hopes to change that. One brand name of Naloxone is Narcan. It's commonly used by first responders in a confirmed or suspected overdose. Now the drug maker Emergent BioSolutions has announced its over-the-counter Narcan spray has been granted priority review by the FDA to potentially become available over the counter. Emergent BioSolutions said it submitted data from safety and effectiveness studies from the time its Narcan nasal spray was approved in 2015. According to the company, the product could be available without a prescription by the end of March. The U.S. Supreme Court is taking on a case that could upend electoral politics and embolden state legislators to act without judicial oversight. Justices heard hours of arguments on Wednesday. The case centers on the so-called independent state legislator doctrine. Supporters of former President Trump relied on versions of it during efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Now, North Carolina Republican lawmakers are asking the justices to adopt the long-dormant legal theory in a fight over redistricting maps. They say it allows state legislators to set rules in federal elections without any constraints by state courts or other state authorities. But voting rights groups say the position would lead to state legislators having absolute authority without judicial oversight. Conservative justices appeared to embrace the legal theory, while liberal justices said it would upend electoral politics, cause chaos on the ground, and embolden state legislatures to act without judicial oversight. That's all we have from the news desk. Back to you, Tyler.
Thanks for that, Colin. It's time to take another break, but when we come back, GIA was packed when it came to the events played Tuesday afternoon. Find out how both men's and women's basketball fared off. Also, one change in the Cowgirl offense has now unlocked a new level. The Daily O will be right back.
I'm Kristen Hawkins. I went to Oklahoma State University here in Stillwater in 99 to 2004. I've always felt like Stillwater needed more family-friendly things to do, and we have opened up AR Workshop. We do everything from knitting blankets that can be done in a 3-hour class. We create doormats and porch signs, the Christmas wreaths with our yarn that we use for the blankets. We also do, we just started a new project for gnomes. We've done pumpkins during the fall. But our big thing that we do here are interior signs. Our designs are extremely unique too in our workshop. Customers come in, everything is here for them to do. They create everything. They can be as hands-on as they want. They came in here to relax and have fun, and that they are proud of their project that they've made.
Ace in the Bowl Salsa started many, many years ago. I was trying to find a recipe to take to a family gathering, and so I started messing around with different recipes, and I took a little bit from here and a little bit from there, and I came up with a salsa that is truly unique. Ace in the Bowl Salsa is an olive oil based salsa with tomatoes, green chilies, green onions, and black olives. There's no sugar added, it's gluten-free, low calorie, low carb, low fat, low sodium. So it's a very, very, very good alternative to any snack you may want. As of right now, I'm just looking to be in Oklahoma and having a successful business within the state. If my grandkids could ever take it over when they're old enough, that would be my dream.
Our state is one of the most beautiful and unique states in the USA. With diverse geographies, the historic Route 66, unforgettable restaurants, and some of the greatest people on the planet. With so much to see and so much to do, living in Oklahoma means one of the best vacation spots is right in our own backyard. Doesn't this story need to be told? As filmmakers and photographers based right here in Oklahoma, we thought so. And hey, who doesn't like a good road trip? So, we packed up our cameras, teamed up with Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell and the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department, and that's how this series was born. We want to show you why traveling within the great state of Oklahoma is a great idea. So come join us for thousands of miles over the next year, from Broken Bow to Black Mesa. This is the Oklahoma Road Trip.
Over the years, we kind of realized that you can get ribs anywhere, you can get a steak anywhere, but you can't always get a Mountain View hot link like ours. So we really decided to focus on that niche and realized we had something really special. So that's when we started focusing more on the hot links, but it's still the same family recipe they were making all those years ago. For us, many of our people that work here have been with us for years and decades. So whereas machines kind of break down over time, the people just get better. And it shows in the products we produce. When you buy a Mountain View product, not only is it going to taste dynamite, but you're also feeding Oklahomans. You're helping employ Oklahomans, and you're helping to fund the state's economy. So what's better than that?
Moving on into the sporting world, it was a busy day throughout Tuesday at Gallagher-Iba Arena. Cowgirl basketball hit the hardwood, continuing their winning ways, defeating Loyola Marymount 86-65. Leading the charge throughout the game was Leor Garzon, finishing with 20 points, shooting 7 of 10 from the field. The Cowgirls will have a break before their next game, facing off against UNLV Rebels on December 18th. The Cowgirls' success continues to stem on the offensive end thanks to one rotation move made throughout the Cancun tournament over Thanksgiving break. Carlos Cortez has the story.
The Cowgirls are having a great start to the 2022-23 season with an 8-2 record, with their recent victory coming to LMU 86-65. Some of this success is thanks to the transfer fifth-year senior Taryn Milton, who recently has taken the point guard role for the Cowgirls and has led them to a 4-1 record as the main point guard. Milton, who transferred from UT Arlington, has been averaging around 10 points per game and 4 assists per game. While Milton is a natural point guard that makes her teammates better, head coach J.C. Hoyt says.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Taryn is just such a natural point guard. She always has been, and to be honest, Mimi really isn't. She just kind of had to be at UMKC, and so it's been fun watching Taryn get to, operate in her strengths and then really position me to get to play more off the ball, which creates more scoring opportunities for her.
This move was made after the loss against Kent State, where Naomi Alnaras and Terry Milton switched positions in the court, and now Alnaras has taken more of a shooting role for the team. Milton is that player that brings the energy to the offensive side and defensive side of the basketball. But Milton, her offensive scoring is not her priority. Her priority is to feed the ball to the hot hand.
You look at just whoever has the hot hand. And a lot of times in the Mexico trip, it was Mimi. So, yes, I was looking for her. But just whoever has the hot hand, we all just have to know it and get them the ball.
With this position change, Naomi Alnaras has been more comfortable shooting the ball and scoring on this new OSU offense. Alnaras has been averaging 15 points per game for the Cowgirls this season. Milton is such a fun player to play with, Alnaras says.
She's a great player, and it's so much fun to play with her. I just think that we all have our moments. If you look at Cancun, I just started it and she finished it with all those and-ones, you know. So I just think that it's just a great thing to be part of a team that have so many different threats. And I will forever be thankful for T.
The Cowgirls' next game is Sunday, December 18 against UNLV at 3 p.m. in Gallagher-Iba Arena. Reporting for Ocali TV, I'm Carlos Cortez.
Thanks, Carlos. Now, on the men's side of things, Cowboy basketball got back into the win column last night in their return to Stillwater. Our own Zach Berger has more.
Tonight, D stands for Defense and Downtown. In Tuesday night's Jimmy V Classic, OSU had 6 steals and a season low for points allowed. Plus, Bryce Thompson, the Pokes, shot well from the three-point line. OSU was able to come away with the victory 65-51 versus Sam Houston State. Coach Mike Boyden had this to say about the game.
It's not often, when you're in a place like this, you get a quad one opportunity in December. But that's a pretty damn good basketball team. They're going to win a lot of games. Obviously, have shown they can go in places like this and win. And so, thankful that our guys, stuck with our game plan and were able to come out with a win that I think will carry forward.
In the first half, it began with a back-and-forth battle, starting off 13-13. Then, a Bryce Thompson-led scoring run propelled the Pokes to a 32-20 lead by half. Thompson had 15 points in the first half alone, going 4 for 4 from the three-point line.
I just got to keep working. I mean, that's all I can do. When I work hard, I'm not thinking, I'm just kind of letting it go. So as long as I just keep working, obviously keep playing with my teammates, keep trusting my teammates, then it'll find me and, I'll be ready to knock it down.
After a rocky 4-minute start to the second half, the Cowboys' defense stepped up to hold their lead. With 6 steals as a team and Moussa Cisse having 4 blocks, they were able to hold on to the win.
I've liked our defense pretty much every game we've played, in all honesty. I think we have an elite level defense, top 10-ish maybe. I don't know what the numbers say at this point, but I think we'll be trending in that direction. I think he's playing at an All-American level. I really do. The impact that he's having on our defense, I mean, you just can't get good shots when he's in there.
Everybody got to do their job. I feel like there's some people, like him, he got to shoot, also we got to rebound, block shot. So that's that.
Next, the Cowboys will travel to Brooklyn, New York to take part in the Basketball Hall of Fame Invitational. OSU will play the Virginia Tech Hokies at 1 p.m. on December 11th. Reporting from Gallagher-Iba Arena, Zach Berger, Ocali TV.
Thanks for that, Zach. Time for one last break on the Daily O, but when we return, time to look at what happened on this day in sports history, as well as our weird sport of the day. Don't go anywhere. The Daily O will be right back.
Pecans are staple to Oklahoma. In fact, many of our native pecans come from trees that are older than Oklahoma statehood.
My father's the one that got us started into the pecan picking. I was probably 10 or 12 years old, and we started off with one little mechanical picker that you pulled behind a four-wheeler. Then we'd go home at night and we'd clean them on a TV tray. I guess watching my dad work hard when we were young, and people started trusting him and getting more and more groves, we just kept growing.
Being a relatively new and fresh company, we get to sit in the same room with people who have been a part of the Oklahoma economy for decades.
It's opened a lot of doors. It's gave us quite a bit of exposure, and I think people, will take a small company like us a little more serious. We're just going to continue growing as long as our community lets us and our customers keep on buying, and we'll see where it takes us.
We would design something, it was set on the counter, and people was either, if enough of them said, this this isn't it. It never made it to the line. Dad was excited that they're all original. They were all designed on Mom's kitchen table, and it gets in your blood after a while.
We're very happy that Pamela and Michael have taken over the business and kept the family going.
We took the business over in 2017. When we found that it was available, we wanted to keep the legacy of family alive, but it was also incredible products that deserved to be a part of Made in Oklahoma's story. We were a part of Made in Oklahoma years ago, and so it kind of grew as Made in Oklahoma grew.
Oklahoma is ingrained into everything that we did. We've been here most of our life. That's what we entailed our whole business on, was the Oklahoma homegrown feeling.
A Golf Digest 5-star course, best new public course won and open in 1994, and a top 100 public golf course in America since 2003. This course, just 5 miles outside of Stillwater, Oklahoma on Highway 51, is named after one of the influential golf pioneers this game has known.
Karsten Creek.
Karsten Creek.
Karsten Creek.
Karsten Creek.
Karsten Creek's a modern golf course.
The beauty of the course is in large part to the elements of the grounds. The Georgia fairway is transformed from its original forested landscape. Georgia was used to combat the tough winters so golfers could play year-round. The greens are large and sloping bent grass hills. The low-cut bent grass can be similar to glass during peak championship conditions. The bunkers surrounding most holes remind golfers of a white beach rather than a deep hazard. Lake Louise, surrounded by the second 9, completes the perfect finishing hole. The long par 72 course perfectly combines nature with the difficulty of a championship course. Karsten's added challenge is the Oklahoma wind.
So there aren't any other schools in the country that have that same commitment to college golf as we do here at Oklahoma State.
But if you're going to play at the highest level, you've got to be able to focus on where you want to go, and Karsten Creek does a good job of training you to do that, because if you don't, you're going to have a long day. And that's a great legacy that Coach Holder left, because that's the way he coached.
Looking back into the history books on what went down on this day in the sports world, it was a big day for the Texas Rangers fans back in 1988. The Rangers and starting pitcher Nolan Ryan had agreed to a deal to make Ryan the first ever $1 million athlete. Ryan would go on to finish his historic career holding 52 records in baseball history. Moving ahead to 2017, Cristiano Ronaldo wins his 5th Ballon d'Or award, making it his 2nd consecutive time being recognized for his skills on the field. Now let's take a look at our strange sport for the day. Today we've got the Pillow Fighting Championship. The Pillow Fighting Championship is a semi-professional league that sees people from all walks of life enter the ring in a family-friendly fighting sport. The fights consist of 3 90-second rounds, and the winner is determined by the amount of headshots landed. The fighters use a special 2-pound pillow for the fights, and there are men's, women's, and children's contests. Fighters are given $250 for fighting, and winners receive $5,000, as well as a championship belt. Time for another look into your national headlines from the sporting world. Joining us once again is Nathan Shell with the latest. Nathan?
Thanks, Tyler. It's been a long day of injuries in the NFL. A tough loss in Buffalo. Bills pass rusher Von Miller had a torn ACL after all and is out for the season after undergoing knee surgery. Bills head coach Sean McDermott said Wednesday that the torn ACL was discovered during Tuesday's exploratory surgery to repair the lateral meniscus and clean up cartilage damage in Miller's knee. Surgeons ended up repairing Miller's torn ACL. In 11 games this season, Miller recorded 8 sacks and 21 tackles while forcing a fumble. The 8-time Pro Bowl selection and 3-time All-Pro is in his first season with the Bills after signing a 6-year, $120 million deal in the March. Keeping things with the NFL, one quarterback has now been granted another starting opportunity. Davis Mills returns to the starting role on Sunday when the Houston Texans visit the Dallas Cowboys. According to reports, Mills was informed of the decision after watching Kyle Allen start the past 2 games at quarterback. Allen had 2 touchdown passes, 4 interceptions, and was sacked 5 times. Mills, 24, has 11 touchdowns and 11 interceptions on the season. The former third-round pick was benched after Houston's 23-10 loss to the Washington Commanders. Finally, any Virginia football player who ran out of college eligibility in 2022 will receive an extra year, the school's athletic director said Wednesday. Carla Williams told the Daily Progress in Charlottesville that Virginia requested the extra eligibility from the NCAA following the campus shooting that killed 3 football players and injured 2 other students, including 1 player. Virginia's final 2 games of the season were canceled following the November 13 deaths of wide receivers Devin Chandler and Lavelle Davis Jr. and linebacker Deshaun Perry. They were killed in a shooting in a charter bus after returning to campus from a class trip to Washington, D.C. That's all we've got from the news desk for the side of sports. Back to you, Tyler.
Thank you, Nathan. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode of the Daily O. Make sure to tune in tomorrow as Zach Berger will have you covered for all the OSU and national headlines you need. For the Daily O, I'm Tyler Tripodi. Thanks for watching. Good night, everyone.
Hi everybody, my name is Emily Shooping. I'm your marketing coordinator for the Made in Oklahoma Coalition. I'm coming to you with an amazing opportunity. We are teaming up with the Ocali Media Group at Oklahoma State University. We want to tell your story on the following platforms: streaming, newspaper, and digital. This opportunity will not only allow your story to be told locally, but nationally as well. I am so excited for each of you to join in on this tremendous opportunity. This will not only be good for your business, but it will be good for our great state of Oklahoma. You can be expecting an email from me soon with more details about this opportunity. Local has a name, local has a face, local has a flavor. The Made in Oklahoma Coalition.
Our state is one of the most beautiful and unique states in the USA. With diverse geographies, the historic Route 66, unforgettable restaurants, and some of the greatest people on the planet. With so much to see and so much to do, living in Oklahoma means one of the best vacation spots is right in our own backyard. Doesn't this story need to be told? As filmmakers and photographers based right here in Oklahoma, we thought so. And hey, who doesn't like a good road trip? So, we packed up our cameras, teamed up with Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell and the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department, and that's how this series was born. We want to show you why traveling within the great state of Oklahoma is a great idea. So come join us for thousands of miles over the next year, from Broken Bow to Black Mesa. This is the Oklahoma Road Trip.
Are when folks drink our water is that they'll drink it for a few days and find out the difference. They'll start feeling better because there's been no chemical in our water. There's a list of good things that we have. We don't have any bad things in it. I see the future of Divine Water as being worldwide, which will bring outside dollars into the state. It means a lot to me because I started it, I guess, and our family started it.
Well, how I got started was my daughter said, "Mama, why don't we rent a booth at the Quarter Horse Show?" And it was very, very good because, you know, when you're giving your jelly away for free, people really do love it. But when you ask them to pay for it, then that's a true test. What makes my product so unique is the Scotch bonnet pepper. And the Scotch bonnet is the Jamaican pepper And I had lived in Montego Bay, Jamaica for 4 years, so I learned how to handle the pepper and how to cook with it. I always say, you don't do this on your own. I mean, you have so many people that help you along the way. For me and for many of us, that's my name on that jar, and it better be good.